are these people?
Good evening. Huh?
Nice intro.
Thank you. No, good evening, everyone. I'm Angel Rivera, of course, alongside Alex Knight. That means this is Angel in the afternoon. No Witchy Perfect this week. She had a previous commitment, and, I'm sure that she's going to enjoy a night off. Because tomorrow we're not doing pro wrestling talk because I'm watching the Canelo fight, but we're doing it Sunday at 7. So, hope everybody has a great week, and, it's just us. So hope everybody enjoys the show. And let's see, you've got CBCs here already. Hi, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Excuse me. And so we got plenty to talk about. And you know, what any big news this week? I really didn't pay much attention this week.
Well, earlier today it was announced that WrestleMania 20, what is it? WrestleMania 2027 is going to be in Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, that just broke earlier a few hours ago, and I'm like, okay, makes no difference to me.
Well,
I'm not going to.
Saudi Arabia is awful, and WWE's partnership with Saudi Arabia. I mean, everybody hates it, and it's really stupid. So,
Yeah, but people will still watch it and people will still react to it. So
well, people might boycott possibly. So.
I don't think so. There's zero chance that wrestling streamers and wrestling content creators, no way. They're not boycotting WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They may say that now, but in 2 years when they need content, trust me, they'll be watching WrestleMania. But yeah, we'll discuss that a lot more on Sunday. Let's see. So apparently, well, not apparently because it did happen, but we had a what's his face? Charlie Kirk just got killed a couple days ago. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but
Yeah.
that they arrested some skinny little white dude for the murder, and
I
he's
knew
allegedly,
I knew people were going to compare him to Luigi.
yeah, because he kind of looks similar, and I mean, it's like, really. I mean, everybody, they're treating Charlie Kirk like he's some kind of fucking hero. I mean, the administration wants to hold a funeral for him at the U.S. Capitol building. Is like, really? That's only for like U.S. presidents and stuff.
And don't forget the Yankees did that a couple days ago.
Oh right, the Yankees held a moment of silence for him.
Yeah.
So
they'll do that, but they won't. They won't do the same with the Palestinians killed in Gaza by Israel. They won't do that.
no. Well, also we'll talk about this more. But yesterday was what, the 24th anniversary of 9/11, and the Yankees did their usual virtue signaling throughout the entire game, and Donald Trump showed up at the Yankee Stadium, and everybody cheered like it was like it's and like welcome back to Yankee Stadium, Donald Trump. Sorry about the motorcycle noise.
Well,
Not much I can do about
he
that.
is the president, so that's why.
Yeah, but I know, but they treated him like it was like, yeah, he's
of course,
back.
like I posted, people are going to be outraged over Aaron Judge shaking hands with Trump.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you said, it's the president. I mean, you're not gonna not shake his hand,
Derek Jeter would have done
even
that. So what's the issue with Judge doing it too?
yeah, it's the president of the United States, so of course, you're gonna shake his hand, even if it's for a couple seconds. So yeah,
And
so
by the way, next year Yankees and Mets will be playing 9/11 week or weekend, whenever that is. So,
that would make it the 25th anniversary.
yeah.
So yeah, it would make
And I
sense. The
agree with
Yankees and
fans that
Mets.
they should be doing it every year. That that's the
Yeah,
thing.
they makes sense for the Yankees and Mets to have a game on 9/11. 25th anniversary next year, and I think it's good for them. They should do it every year, but I don't know why Major League Baseball hasn't done it more often. Because this year the Yankees played the Tigers last night, so
Yeah.
at least
And
they won. But
now they play against the Sox.
oh yeah, big weekend matchup against the Boston Red Sox. Unfortunately, I'll be probably have to watch Canelo and the game at the same time. It starts at 7 tomorrow, actually. So Mike Stacey says the plan is working. I mean, Charlie Kirk gets killed. Everybody has. By the way, if you haven't seen the footage, don't seek it out.
Yeah.
It's actually the close up. I mean, it's quite graphic.
Yeah, very graphic.
Yeah, don't seek it out if you haven't seen it because you won't forget it. So, anyways, I'm. I think it was Jax. Jax tweeted this out, photo out, and the picture, video out. It's like there's something weird about it. And I looked at it like I think
Was it
that's just
about
a
that the ring on the finger thing? Was that?
no. It was like there was like something black in his shirt before
Uh,
the bullet got in there. But I'm like, I think that's either a compression issue or some kind of glitch with the video because it's cell phone video. Ultimately, these things don't, unless it's like an iPhone 16, it doesn't really have the best cameras. So, especially if you're doing this after somebody got shot, you got scared. So, I just think either it's a compression issue or it was a glitch or it was I don't buy that. There's some conspiracies that Charlie Kirk is still alive and he faked his death. And it's like,
no, I
come
mean,
on, come
no
on,
way he
people.
survived that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's the video was AI, that it wasn't real. Like, look, I'm into conspiracy theories and open minded about that type of stuff, but no, no, he's gone. Like, there's no way
And
that he's still alive.
by the way, we saw. I showed you a couple days ago. Um, the guys, there's the person working at Sucker Punch and the Ghost of Yote game.
Oh
Pointed,
yeah,
tweeted, "Yay, Charlie Kirk is dead!" And then people were outraged over
he.
that. Sucker Punch
Oh
ended
yeah,
up actually firing that person.
yeah.
So
People. He's not the only one that's been fired over celebrating his death. I mean, there's been I've seen at least 5 different videos of people melting down over the fact they lost their
well,
jobs
yeah,
over
but they're not
celebrating.
working at like big studios
Yeah,
or
yeah.
anything.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, really, you're shocked that you got fired because
Yeah,
you celebrated the guy's death, but did it online in a video form where everybody can see you. Of course, you're gonna get fired. It's like, come on. I mean, if you want to celebrate his death, I don't care. I'm not going to be a moralist here. It's
could
like,
you
how dare you
imagine
do that?
someone from Rockstar Games doing that?
No, it's like how, like I don't care if you celebrate his death. That's on you, but don't be stupid enough to film yourself doing it and post it on the internet. This is why people like they overshare online and they get shocked when they get fired from their
Yeah,
jobs. So it's like, of course you got fucking fired, especially with the how outraged conservatives are over this, and they've been, oh yeah, I've been reporting everybody who celebrated Charlie Kirk's death to their employers, and they're all going to get fired. They're all excited about this, like they're celebrating
it's
this.
really
So
funny, and obviously we hate both sides, but it's really funny how liberals talk about how Republicans are the worst thing ever. They do the most dangerous things and all that stuff, but yet it's the liberals who's been doing this stuff. When most doing sniping innocent people, they're the ones that are doing that.
yeah, well, I mean, they're liberals are trying to get out in front of this and claiming that he's a Trump supporter, and it's like, well, his family apparently
Okay,
voted for Trump,
and
but he didn't. He was openly anti-Trump and more liberal than they are. So, yeah, unfortunately, it looks like it's another Democrat who decided to shoot Charlie Kirk in the neck from 200 meters away. Look, and so yeah, he's under arrest. I don't know whether he did it or not. It's alleged, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't have much more info because it just happened. They just made the arrest, so
Yeah.
the only thing I could do is, oh, what's hilarious is Netanyahu immediately came out and said that Israel nothing to do with it. Like you hear this, right? Like,
I don't think I. Well, I know he was born. I know he was. He tweeted out he was saddened by Charlie's Kirk death and all that.
yeah, but he
I don't.
literally said
I think I may have read a post about that. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Israeli PM Netanyahu denied allegations that Israel assassinated Charlie Kirk, called them absurd rumors. So
I
he
mean,
went on
I was
Newsmax.
gonna say that.
This is the old Fox host, isn't it? I
Yeah,
forget her name right
I was
now,
gonna
but
say she's becoming more of a man lately or something.
yeah, it's Gretchen something. Yeah, I forget her name right now, but she's
Yeah,
the old Fox host.
yeah.
They go, they have no limits. When you
Hmm.
hate Jews, when you hate the Jewish state, they're willing to say anything and promote all these
That's how she looks.
absurd rumors. And by the way, they're
But
willing
you hate Jews.
to kill us all the time. I mean, that's what they're doing. And over the centuries, when Jews, especially in the Middle Ages, the horrific Middle Ages,
That's a
the
man, baby.
worst things were said about Jews you couldn't possibly believe. We were poisoning the wells. We were drinking the blood of Christian children. You name it. I mean, these things that continued actually up to the Holocaust. The Nazis said the same thing. We're carrying vermin. We're spreading disease,
No,
and
no,
people believed it. And every time they believed it, this was a prelude to all the Holocaust. People spread these lies about us.
I didn't really listen to what he said.
no. Yeah, I mean, he denies allegations that I don't know. I
But
didn't really see.
these people, it's not people hate Jews. They hate Zionists. Zionists.
Mm-hmm.
Stop saying Jews. It's we hate Zionists. That's who we hate.
Yeah. So there's a video here that basically there's like so there's an let's see here. Oops. Yeah. I didn't hear anything unless I missed it. Let's see. It's funny how they can't catch a perpetrator when it happens. All that money and still runs around like chickens.
Well, when that guy tried to assassinate Trump the first time, they shot him afterwards. So
Yeah, Witchy said nobody said Israel did it in the first place. There has to be something. Doubles in the details. Yeah, I don't. The first time I heard that Israel possibly could have done it was when this allegation that Charlie Kirk was afraid to go against Israel or else they would kill him. So this is at least that's I don't know. I never heard him say that, but people said he did say that. So that's. I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Israel will kill him if he turns against them. See, this is what I only time I saw. I'd never heard Charlie said it himself, so
yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but see, there's a guy there that gave baseball signals right before he was shot. Not sure you've seen this video,
I
but
saw that. Yeah.
yeah, alleged this guy gave like these like baseball signs, and then that's when Charlie got shot. Right after that,
I don't know if I'm
another.
really. I don't know if I'm really into that. I mean, it could just be adjusting stack. I don't know if that's really.
Yeah, I don't know which news outlet broke it first. The Jerusalem Post. Again, Jerusalem Post broke it as well. They were first ahead of everybody else. So people are probably reading too much into this, but
But
a lot of coincidences here.
Israel that,
It's a lot.
So,
Yes, a lot of coincidences here. George Zinn created a textbook distraction and allowed the shooter to escape. So this guy's allegedly Jewish as well. I mean, Utah is one of the lowest Jewish populations in America. So allegedly, this guy got himself arrested first in order to help the real shooter get away. So again, we ended up arresting the actual shooter allegedly, but he was released eventually. I don't know who that guy is. Must mean Israel did it, right? I don't know. I'm just there's nearly no evidence for that, but I'm just could have been Israel, even if they are denying. I mean, not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying, there really isn't. I haven't seen much evidence to it so far, at least. So, yep. So they arrested some skinny little white kid for the murder. He's allegedly a Republican, even though all the evidence I've seen is he's much more to the left. But let's see. So yesterday was 9/11, the 24th anniversary, if I remember correctly. Again, and my math isn't the best, so 24 years since the event. I was 2001. I had to be 14, 15 years old. No, and having September 2001, I was 14, 15, yeah. And
I was 10.
yeah, yeah, I was just starting in high school then. Oh, I just that day it was like I'll never forget it. I was in school. The first plane hit the first tower at 9:50, 9:45, 9:50 in the morning, and the classroom I happened to be in was full of TVs because we had computer class that day, and it was my first class in the morning, and nobody's really paying attention to the TVs. They were on, I think it was Good Morning America or the other morning show. I forget what it is right now. Good Morning America, CBS Morning, whatever it was. It was kind of a morning show that was on TV. It's 2001, so forgive my forgetfulness because it was 24 years ago.
I remember seeing the
Anyways,
clip from the Howard Stern show when that happened, when he broke the news that plane hit the World Trade Center. They were like, "Oh, really?" or something, and then they just continued on and laugh it off like it was just some sort of like, yeah, whatever. That's sort of the news.
well, yeah, at the time, and when the first plane hit the first tower, you figure it's an accident. Shit happens, So
I'm sure you've
it
seen the
sucks.
video where someone pointed out that where George W. Bush lied that he saw the first plane hit the World Trade Center, and then the guy's like, "Now wait a minute, how could he? He couldn't have seen the first plane. So how did he see that?
Oh, that day, there's no way he could have saw it because he was sitting in a classroom in Florida reading what was that book? It was some kind of children's book.
Yeah.
And after the first plane hit the first tower, somebody whispered in his ear. The guy whispered in his ear, and he kind of sat there
Yeah.
like 7 minutes or 6 minutes. I remember again that specifically because some of my teachers wore a little like a button said 7 minutes on it, which was referencing George W. Bush sitting there for 7 minutes and doing nothing, because by this point it was 2004 and he was running for re-election, so a lot of them were kind of like campaigning against him, so they had like a 7 minute button that the Kerry campaign put out. I was like, so anyways, getting back to 9/11, I'm in class and I not paying attention. It's like I'm looking up TV and you just see the first plane at the first tower. It's like, holy crap! And it's like, stop doing like what? Look at the freaking TV. It's like, oh my god, there nobody saw it. So I'm looking at the TV like, the hell is like a plane hit the tower? It's like, no, shut up. It's like, no, look and look. It's like, oh well, like, oh shit. It's like we all. It's like, oh, that's terrible accident, man. I thought it was an accident, like we all did. I mean, if you were around at the time, you thought it was an accident. It's a horrible accident.
The second plane hits. That's
About 10 minutes later, we're again same thing happens, and it wasn't me, but I kept looking at TV because it's like I couldn't keep my eyes off of it, even though there was class going on. And then the second plane at the second tower, and it's like, this is not an accident. It just happened again. It's like, and I was 15, and I knew it wasn't an accident. At that point, they were
I,
trying to tell us, "Oh, yeah." I was trying to tell it. I was trying, like, they were trying to tell us, "Oh no, that's just accident." Two, not one, but two plane hits two different towers. That's not an accident.
yeah.
So don't be trying to don't blow smoke up my ass. It's not an accident. It was
Did you ever
so
see United '93?
the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I saw it. It was really good.
yeah. It's ultimately we'll never know what happened on that plane, but it was like the movie itself was good, but how true was it? What happened on that? Did that movie actually get 100% right? Who knows? But it was.
Well, you can't expect it to get 100% right, but that's probably pretty much what happened. It looked real, so that's all. That's all that matters. So
I was in TV studio when the first plane hit and found out about it when I got to math class. The teacher had it on when we came in the room. Okay, that's yeah. When the second plane hit the second tower, eventually there was meetings and discussions and what the hell do we do, because we didn't know what else was going to happen. And of course, the Bush administration tried to terrify the country, saying there could be more attacks. We don't know. Fear, scare the shit out of you. So it's like we were all scared. So it's like, okay, we got sent home eventually. I was home by 11:30 around lunchtime. So my mom was still at work. So
and
I just made.
remember the Yankees were that close to winning the World Series. On that year
Oh
of
yeah,
9/11.
that
But then
would have been.
Tony Womack and Luis Gonzalez happened. So that was so
Yeah,
heartbreaking. Not just because
no,
they were close to winning, but because of 9/11 happening that year too. So
yeah, that would have been like poetic, a storybook ending, even though that tragedy happened. New York Yankees winning a championship that year would have been great, and it would have been their fourth in a row. And nobody's come close to that dynasty team. Nobody's even won two in a row. So it's like, all right, so all right, yeah. So yeah, at the time, and still today, you can't go around swearing on broadcast television. So, anyways, I got home, made mac and cheese, and sat down, and I was more shell shocked. I wasn't really upset or anything like that. It was more like I put on TV to every single channel for like a week straight was nothing but 9/11 coverage. Every single channel, even like sports channel, you couldn't get away from it. You could not get away from it. The only way I got away from it is just turning on my 2001. It's had to be PS2 then. So just turning on my PlayStation and just playing. That's the only way I can get away with it. Get away from it, even
remember,
for.
like with Grand Theft Auto 3, when that game was coming out a couple months afterwards, they had to change some stuff with the game. Like they changed the original cover, they changed the front cover of the game. They had
Yeah.
some content, like they changed the color of the police cars. They originally they were supposed to have like a terrorist that you do missions with. He was cut from the game too. Um,
Yeah, yeah. It
so
was there was they had to patch it out. The code
yeah,
is still there apparently. The code is still there for the
yeah.
characters and stuff, but they just patched it out before the game came out for obvious reasons. I mean, it's like a lot of content and a lot of movies are even censored around that time because they it so yeah, I sat home, I ate mac and cheese. It was like, well, what do I do now? Just so that was my day that day. And Witchy said she was in class and also got let out early. We all got let out early in school. And I think we were
I
off
was in the
school the
West.
next.
I was in the West Coast, so I didn't. I wasn't at school yet. So that we got arrived later.
Right, right. Yeah, you would have been at home still. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we were all let out early in the East Coast because,
Oh
we
yeah.
didn't know what was going to happen left.
Yeah. It's like
But
Steph said that SmackDown happened that that weekend. Vince McMahon came
that
out.
Friday, the first major
No, no,
event
no.
after
That was
9
on
11.
Thursday. Thursday when it happened
Yeah,
because they
that
were.
would have been Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, And you might remember during that episode when Stephanie McMahon had that horrible tribute thing she was going. She was comparing 9/11 to how Vince went through with all his stuff. Or you might remember,
Right? Yes, I remember something like that.
I'm like, what are you doing?
So, yeah, this is a video that Greg made from our network and 9/11 and the Boeing uninterruptible autopilot system. This is, there's plenty of 9/11 like conspiracy and stuff. This is real. This is interesting though.
Do you really believe these Muslim hijackers penetrated the world's best air defense system and tracked into the World Trade?
Can you turn it
You
up?
mean to tell me that this guy, Hani Hanjour, who even the New York Times admits was an incompetent and terrible pilot student, conducted a descending and accelerating 330-degree corkscrew return from 7,000 feet west of the Pentagon to arrive precisely at ground level without striking the surface to hit the Office of Naval Intelligence at nearly 500 miles per hour with military precision on his first attempt?
By the way, that's impossible. Seasoned and experienced pilots have tried to do that move in simulation. They couldn't do it, but somehow this guy did.
So I just want to bring up something really quickly. I think Aaron Judge is back. He just hit another home run today. So
nice. Yeah, I saw it here early, and while I was looking for this video, but that turn that this this terrorist allegedly made was impossible. No pilot could do it. No professional pilot could do this turn.
Yeah, you can't do it that fast. It has to be slow.
Yeah, so I don't how this guy did it. I never know, and it's bullshit. That's why he didn't do it. Something else was going on there.
Tried and replicated by most highly experienced expert pilots who couldn't perform this maneuver, even on their most successful attempts without crashing. Yet, according to the official narrative, Hani accomplished this amazing aerial feat on his first try with minimal aircraft training or experience, and only a few hundred hours of flight time. A quick Google search will simply take you to the Boeing uninterruptible autopilot system, which is designed to take control of commercial aircraft away from the pilot in the event of a hijacking, which will allow the craft to automatically guide itself to a landing at a designated airstrip. The uninterruptible autopilot would be activated either by pilots, onboard sensors, or remotely via radio or satellite links by government agencies if terrorists attempt to gain control of the flight. And here it is. In 2003, Honeywell, they described this continued development of a ground proximity warning system that can allow GPS-guided aircraft to take control of an aircraft from a pilot during emergencies. Yep, and of course that's memory hold. Oh, but Greg, they wouldn't have that kind of technology back then. Oh yeah, no, they did. They did. Watch this.
Wired for radio remote control. Fit with television cameras. The plane was then loaded up with explosives to make the equivalent of a 20,000-pound bomb. Pilot and co-pilot were needed to get the bomber airborne, after which they could parachute to safety. The pilotless bomber could then be remotely steered over the channel and into the B-2 sites. On August 12, 1944.
And here, just a couple years before, mid-1990s, Lockheed Martin Dark Star. Look at this.
This unusual looking aircraft is a stealth high-altitude, fully autonomous unmanned aerial vehicle. RQ-3 was designed as a stealthy alternative to the famous RQ-4 Global Hawk. Unlike the Global Hawk, RQ-3 stealth technology allows it to penetrate deeper into enemy airspace and gather intelligence. Dark Star first flew in 1996. This aircraft was fully autonomous, which means it can take off, find its targets, gather intelligence data, and land by itself.
It's out in the open, folks. Controlled Impact Demonstration was a joint project between NASA and the FAA that intentionally crashed a remotely controlled...
What?
No, I was just reading two replies saying that, I don't know if it's your connection or the audio is having a bit of issues.
I don't know. It's the highest I can get it. I don't know why.
No, it's not the volume. It's like kind of skipping or it's like cracking, like you're saying. So.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it seems fine here. So hold on, let me.
Boeing 720 aircraft to acquire data and test new technology to aid passenger survival. You take the words of Captain McConnell, who exposes the illegal modification of the Boeing uninterruptible autopilot system prior to 9/11 and the Malaysia 7 disasters. So, controlling remote aircraft via NATO AWACS in the sky.
Boeing aircraft has developed an uninterruptible autopilot, tamper-proof autopilot system that allows the crew members or a agency such as the CIA or military to electronically control the airliner to the QRS-11 gyro ship, and the signals to the airliner are sent via satellite to the aircraft itself, which then will be landed safely at any destination selected by the controlling agency.
Boeing pays $15 million fine. Boeing has paid the largest fine ever for a company violation of the Armed Export Control Act over the unlicensed foreign sales of commercial airplanes carrying small gyro trip or military applications. Yep, so there you go. We did it. So, in other words, most likely, nobody was on that plane and just did it itself. No human could do those moves. Not a single human could do those moves. Let me try reloading my my page here because I don't know why video shouldn't be skipping. It wasn't I saw it and it wasn't skipping, so I don't know. Well, anyways, let's see. My brain isn't into reading. Sorry. Hopefully, it's the next one I play a little better. Where is it? I have another one here. I saved so many stuff here that I can barely find what I'm looking for sometimes. Whoops. Where is it? Sorry. So yeah, just make sure you like and subscribe. Trying to look. That's way too long. I'm not playing 6 minutes of that. Yeah, so that's 9/11 for you. I mean, there was, September 11th. How much time flies? It's been 24 years now. And I'm just like, really? It's been 24 years already? I mean, it feels like time has flew quite a bit over the years, but
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden, 39, and it's time. It's like, let's see. Oops, I did it wrong. Bear with me 1 second here. Yes, I know. So it looks like Donald Trump has deployed a National Guard in Memphis, in Tennessee. So not just L.A. or Washington or Chicago. Now it's Memphis too. It's pretty soon
Why
be around the
Memphis of
country.
all places?
That's a good question. Well, we can speculate why Memphis in particular, but I'm looking at it here. It says Trump announces National Guard will be deployed in Memphis to fight crime, and ICE killed a man. They were arresting somebody else in Chicago earlier today as well. So, yeah. Oh, this is interesting. California passes ICE mask ban in closing days of legislative session. This just came across my thing here, so bless you. After a summer characterized by mass federal agents detaining immigrants in Los Angeles, the California legislature passed 2 measures Thursday that seeks to force law enforcement officers to identify themselves. Senate Bill 627 and 805 were among the most controversial to pass in the final days of the year's legislative session. They would ban local, out-of-state, and federal law enforcement officers from wearing face coverings, as well as require officers to be readily identifiable, respectively. Um, I thought Democrats loved masks. Now all of a sudden they hate them. Ends of the situation, I guess. State Senator Scott
What?
Wiener, a San Francisco Democrat and lead author of SB 627, as we go through this horrific era of mass deportation and a Supreme Court that allows its authoritarian regime to do whatever the heck they want to do, including straight up racial profiling of Latino people, California should lead and put a stop to that secret police. These measures pass along party lines with Republicans and opposition. Police unions also oppose the proposed mask ban. Senator Tony Strickland, Republican. This is a reckless anti-law enforcement proposal that put law enforcement officers and their families at real risk, undermining the safety of men and women that bravely protect our communities. So it should be the last day of the session. Lawmakers are expected to extend their work through Saturday to give final votes to some last-minute deals they struck this week. Those that pass will head to Governor Gavin Newsom's desk for a signature veto, and those that don't are dead for the year. I think there's some other proposals, blah, blah, blah. SB 243 will put tighter regulations on online chatbots powered by artificial intelligence to limit their risk on young users, higher car dealer fees, wage boost for incarcerated firefighters, abortion pill protections, kill mute swans, whatever that is, ban plastic glitter, and save the bees. So, yep. So Democrats.
I just want to point out something. The Rangers just scored 6 runs against the Mets in the first inning.
Oh. So there you go.
Lol, Mets strikes yet again.
Good. Yeah. So California Democrats hate masks all of a sudden. So now they want to ban masks for police officers. I'm like, look, I get it in theory, but California of all places, who forced their citizens to wear masks for years, now all of a sudden they're passing mask bans, and that's the last state that should be doing anything like that. But it doesn't matter because unfortunately federal law supersedes state law. So even if the California passes that bill, it doesn't matter because federal law doesn't require police officers to identify themselves or anything like that. So that's why ICE or FBI, they don't have to identify themselves because federal regulation doesn't require them to identify themselves. So yeah, it obviously applies to state police and local police, but not to ICE. So again, it's just a virtue signaling bill because ultimately they don't have to listen to what California says. Let's see here. So here comes the fascism. Yep. So we're definitely.
It's always been fascist, so it's just here's more.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully this video a little better because I don't know why sometimes it depends on the connection. Sometimes my videos play fine, other times it's like you can barely hear them or read them. So anyways, this is a Spanish guy here is working in Detroit. He claims MAGA couple threatened to call ICE on Michigan man for mowing his friend's lawn. I'm calling ICE, he screams. Everybody in the house better be legal. Man being yelled at calmly sits down in the grass and says, I'm a citizen. I probably pay more taxes.
You don't even know if he's legal or not, so why are you calling?
So, yeah, this is the guy. I'll play this.
So fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's like, really, dude? I mean, you're going to really waste people's time with that? Whoops.
He's helping mow someone's lawn. Like,
you better be legal.
Where do you live? 7261. Who's talking to me? Call the ICE on me. I'm sitting here. Hold on a minute, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, buddy. Hold on a minute, buddy. I'm sitting on the sidewalk. Hold on a minute, buddy. I'm gonna sit this. I pay more taxes than you, fucker. I pay more taxes than you, fucker.
I know. I don't know why it does. I mean, it seems to be fine.
More
Let me see.
taxes than you, fucker. I pay more taxes than you, fucker. Shut the fuck up. I pay more taxes than you.
You're a fucking coward. You're a coward. Is what you are. A fucking. This is all you do. Flap your gums. You fucking coward.
He's already threatened.
You fucking.
You started it.
You go back to the fucking house. Stay here.
Hey, bro.
And then he yells at his wife, like, "Go back in the fucking house and stay there." It's like, after yelling him, calling him a coward. It's like,
Bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Fuck your coward ass.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
You're a coward.
Hey, bro.
Tell
Listen.
the police.
Let's
You're a
talk.
coward.
Let's talk man
Tell
to
the
man.
police
Let's
you're
talk
a
man to
coward.
man. Shut
You're
the fuck
a
up.
fucking
shut the
coward.
fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Let's talk man to man. Let's talk man to man. Come here. Come here. Come here.
I don't know why there's a horn there at the last minute there, but fuck you, bitch. So there you go. White people calling ICE or threatening to call ICE on Spanish guy for no reason. So the 1 millionth example of what we call it, racism or whatever the hell. I mean, at this point, yeah, at this point, you know, why would you even bother that guy, even if he was illegal? Like, who cares? Like,
Yeah,
but he clearly isn't. Even if he is illegal, like, who cares? I
It's
know,
just
but
like
more
that,
national.
you know, the Karen woman with the phone, you know.
I know, but more National Guard means 15-minute cities and martial law. Yeah, I mean, eventually, National Guard will be deployed around the country, I suspect, because it's not just L.A. or Chicago or D.C. It's now Memphis. So people are stupid and jealous. How dare you help poor people? Yeah, that's just out of nowhere. This guy just started yelling at this poor guy who's trying to, you know, help out his neighbor, I guess, because let's see. Sorry. Yeah, so let's go here. So before we get to Israel, because we have plenty to say about that, especially since they recently bombed Qatar in order to kill Hamas.
They just
After-
bombed Gaza again today.
Not surprising. They do it pretty much every day now.
Yeah,
But I haven't heard about.
I'm surprised you didn't see my post about it earlier today.
Yeah, so yeah, not. And I admit I did miss it because I was busy, but yeah, I'm not surprised they bombed Gaza again. But I know they bombed Qatar in order to try to kill Hamas members for some
I
reason.
thought Qatar was I thought it was a country that supported Israel. Am I correct on that?
Well, I'm sure that technically they do, but the issue is they had Hamas there, and Israel's like, well, we're gonna bomb them no matter. We're gonna bomb anywhere where Hamas is at. So even if it's an ally, you know. So yeah. So now they've started an issue with Qatar now. I'm sure Qatar isn't happy
Or
about
as
being
Jimmy
bombed.
Carter called Carter.
Uh-huh. Let's see. So yeah, so we'll get to that a little bit later. Israel has also agreed. What was I looking for? Not that. Let's see. Netanyahu signs off on major West Bank settlement. Oh, of course. I mean, we'll get to that too a little later, but Qatar, Israel strikes killed any hope for release of Israeli captives. So yeah, whatever the Israelis were expecting, it's not gonna happen now. So
I just fucking hope Iran bombs them again.
well, I don't think Iran is going to bomb Israel for no reason, or at least without Israel doing it first. But so yeah, as everyone knows the U.S. military is beginning to not necessarily call it reoccupy or just remilitarize Puerto Rico because they abandoned most of the military bases in Puerto Rico years ago, but now it looks like they're kind of restocking them again because the administration wants to use it as a staging ground to invade Venezuela. So because Puerto Rico, Venezuela, are not that far away. So
You could dump Hamas.
yeah, yeah. So it's the same thing again. It's like, hey, let's just invade. Let's just use Puerto Rico to invade to invade Venezuela. So there you go. So instead of where is it's like I save stuff and then they disappear on me. So just bear with me 1 second here. I'm gonna find it. I had ice cream and cheeseburgers at the fair. Sounds delicious. I mean, it's, oh yeah. So really, hold on.
I'm waiting.
What? Where did that? Okay, sorry. Here we go. So the U.S. attacked a boat near Venezuela multiple times to kill survivors. So this is from September 10th. Um, American officials said the drone strikes were carried out by Special Operations Command, and more attacks will be coming soon. So this is picture of the actual attack, actual I guess drone that attacked the boat here. Again, look at this. What does this remind you of? To me, it reminds you of Call of Duty. The level when you would have the drones and you would just bomb them from on
Yeah,
top.
Modern
Usually,
Warfare. Yeah.
each single player campaign usually has a level like this where you're just looking up and you're just bombing whatever's red down there. If everything's red, you just bomb it. It doesn't matter who's there or what it is. But that's what this sort of reminds me of, and which is why when young people join the military, it's like you view it as a video game. Like, look at this. It looks like a Call of Duty game or
And
a
now
Battlefield game.
RFK is blaming all
Hmm.
this violence or all the other stuff on video games, which is just so stupid.
Of course he is. I mean, absurd.
I
Yes,
think video games are so bad because they're just so bad.
video game. Yeah, well, shit. I mean, he's ridiculous. He should focus on being head of HHS instead of worrying about video games. Um, People on board the boat off the coast of Venezuela that the U.S. military destroyed last Tuesday were said to have survived an initial strike. According to American officials familiar with the matter, they were killed shortly after in a follow-up attack, or AKA a double tap. So there was a bombing, they survived. Okay, let's hit them again. Boop, dead. That's a war crime, by the way, but whatever stops the U.S., nothing's going to stop the U.S. So, war crime, they don't care. The boat was under U.S. surveillance for a significant period of time. Those on board apparently spotted the U.S. aerial assets and altered their vessel course. U.S. officials said the boat appeared to have turned back toward shore, after which it was subjected to multiple strikes. Three sources, including Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, said the boat was attacked by one or more drones. A very small number of Senate and House staffers separately received highly classified briefings about the attack on Tuesday. No senators or House members were in attendance. People familiar with the briefing sold the intercept. So wait, only the staffers were briefed about it, not the senators or members of the House. What were they doing? It's only the staffers who got this information, not the senators. It's like, okay, so where were they? Were they too busy sleeping? Because they're all really old there in Washington, as we all know. Most senators and Congress people like in their 80s, so it could have taken their nap. Um, Two officials familiar with the strike were left with the impression that more attacks in the Caribbean would be forthcoming in the weeks ahead. Multiple sources said that Special Operations Command, or SOCOM, conducted the lethal operation. This is considered highly unusual given all the military assets based in the region. SOCOM Director of Public Affairs, we would not comment on the command's involvement in the attack. We don't have anything for you. In response to the question of the intercept, Chief Pentagon spokesperson said narco terrorists who poison the American people will find no safe harbor in international waters or anywhere in our hemisphere. The strike sent a clear message. If you traffic drugs towards our shore, the United States military will use every tool of disposal to stop you cold. In other words, we'll just bomb the shit out of any boat that we don't know who it is, and they're coming anywhere near our border. Great. Let's see. You can suck. Or, hold on. Oops.
Suck a dick.
So, President Donald Trump said he authorized the attack and posted an edited video to social media last week showing four-engine speedboat cutting through the water with numerous people on board. An explosion destroyed the boat. Trump said the strike killed 11 people who he characterized as narco-terrorists, quote-unquote. The administration has offered no evidence to support these assertions. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio made it clear the U.S. could have halted the ship and arrested the crew, but chose to kill them instead. Oh, great. Instead of just going there and arresting them or asking questions, I'll just bomb the shit out of them. No big deal. Marco Rubio said, instead of interdirecting it on the president's orders, we blew it up and it'll happen again. So yeah, they just bombed the shit out of some boats, and they also committed a war crime because they did a double tap, ladies and gentlemen. So, and not only did they admit it, but they're kind of proud of that fact. So I'm not going through this whole article because I just don't feel like reading that much right now. So let's see. Go back. Yeah. So now Puerto Rico is going to be used as a new staging ground for any war that the U.S. is probably going to start with Venezuela. And in fact, it seems like the expectation is that at least the Venezuelan government thinks that an invasion can happen any moment because they're already preparing for it. What I've read in videos that I've seen, like they're preparing for an invasion by the U.S. And let's remember, Donald Trump also tried to overthrow Nicolas Maduro in his first term too, when they did that whole Juan Guaido thing, as we've been discussing the last couple of weeks. Just a total disaster there, and they just pretended he was president, even though he had zero power whatsoever. He just pretended to be president for most of Trump's first term. Oops. Yeah, so we got. It's. Where is it? Again, this is hard to find stuff right now.
Yeah.
U.S. It's. Yeah. This is what I'm looking for. Sorry.
Whenever you want to look, I just sent in the group chat I'm in with you and Dave, the baseball group. I sent you a post. You might want to do whatever you want to look at.
Okay.
Fucking stupid.
Hexats visits Puerto Rico as U.S. boasts Caribbean military ops. The U.S. Defense Secretary, or Secretary of War, Pete Hexat, and Air Force General Dan Kane, Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff, arrived in Puerto Rico on Monday as the U.S. steps up its military operations against drug cartels in the Caribbean. Their arrival in the U.S. territory comes more than a week after ships carrying hundreds of U.S. Marines deployed to Puerto Rico for a training exercise, a move on some of the island have criticized. Yeah, it looks like the U.S. military is kind of using Puerto Rico to practice again, even though they haven't done that in decades. But Puerto Rico's Governor Jennifer Gonzalez, who's by the way a Trump supporter, said Hexeth and Kane visited on behalf of President Donald Trump's administration to support those participating in the training.
Fuck off.
See. We thank President Trump and his administration for recognizing the strategic importance of Puerto Rico to the U.S. national security and their fight against drug cartels and the narco dictator Nicolas Maduro, Gonzalez
That was
said.
pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's just using administration talking points. Just calling Nicolas Maduro a narco dictator. I don't even know what that means, but Hexeth and Kane met with officials from the 156th Wing Munoz Air National Guard Base in Carolina, a city just east of the capital, San Juan. Gonzalez said Hexeth spoke to nearly 300 soldiers at the base and thanked those he described as American warriors for their work. The visit comes as the U.S. prepares to deploy 10 F-35 fighter jets to Puerto Rico for operations targeting drug cartels, a person familiar with the planning said Saturday. The person spoke on the condition anonymity because information about deployments are not made public. On September 2nd, Trump announced the U.S. carried out a strike in southern Caribbean against a vessel that left Venezuela suspected of carrying drugs. 11 people were killed in the rare U.S. military operation in the Caribbean, with the president saying the vessel was operated by the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. No evidence for this, but he said it, so it must be true, right? While the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago praised the strike and said the U.S. should kill all drug traffickers violently, reaction from other Caribbean leaders have been more subdued. Barbadian Foreign Minister Carrie Simonens recently told the Associated Press that members of CARICOM, a regional trade bloc, sent a letter to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio asking for an open line of communication on developments. He said they want to avoid being surprised by any U.S. moves against Venezuela. Meanwhile, hold on. Meanwhile, the Venezuelan government on Monday insisted that the U.S. falsely accusing it of playing a crucial role in the global drug trade. Vice President Delcy Rodriguez told reporters that the U.S. government should redirect its recently deployed maritime force to the Pacific, where fast boats and container ships have long carried Colombian cocaine. Those ships that are trying to intimidate Venezuela today should be there in the Pacific if they truly want to fight and prevent cocaine from reaching the United States of America, she said. They have a GPS location problem. They are where they shouldn't be. They need to recalibrate their GPS.
I think we can expect a lot of Colombian cocaine in GTA 6 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the Colombians, there's a reason why they're in Venezuela. And it's nothing to do with the drug trade. It's everything to do with Venezuelan oil. Trump is dying for that oil since his first term 10 years ago. So trust me, they're looking for any excuse to actually put boots on the ground in Venezuela. So, and the Venezuelan government knows this, which is why they're basically on war footing at this point, waiting for the U.S. to invade. It's a matter of time, especially if Trump really wants that oil. And he really wants to distract from Epstein and those files. So, Rodriguez.
Oh wait, no, never
Go
mind.
ahead.
Never mind. I thought that was Steph saying that for a second.
Rodriguez, citing reports of the United Nations and U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, added that Venezuela has nothing to do with the deaths of U.S. citizens from drug overdoses, as the country is not relevant in global drug production. She suggested the U.S. should focus on fighting consumption within its borders. Not wrong there, but the U.S. will never do that because that would mean spending money at home and actually spending money to help people get off drugs. That's not going to happen, so it's easier just to bomb the shit out of everything. That solves a lot. That's what the U.S. thinks can solve. That's what the U.S. thinks can solve problems.
It's the ununited States of America.
Uh-huh. Coke for everyone. Yep. A lot of hypocrisy, a lot of double standards, a lot of political manipulation of this issue to intervene, to aim for regime change in countries that aren't sympathetic, she said, referring to drug trafficking. So no to war, this is the part. With the ongoing training of Marines in Puerto Rico and the upcoming development of fighter jets have rankled some in the U.S. territory where memories of U.S. Navy using nearby islands as training ranges for decades remain fresh. with the cleanup still ongoing. And by the way, they're still cleaning up those islands to this day. After the Navy used it for target practice for decades. The April 1999 death of civilian security guard David Sanes Rodriguez sparked large protests at the time, eventually leading to the U.S. military leaving the island. Rodriguez was killed after two 500-pound bombs were dropped near him as a part of a training mission in Vieques. We know Vieques, it's a big city in Puerto Rico. Not big city, but it's the area in Puerto Rico where the U.S. military would be at training and have their bases at and stuff. And they've been pretty much gone from Puerto Rico ever since, the military. But now they're back. They're back and ready to go. On Sunday, dozens of people gathered outside the National Guard base in Carolina to decry the heightened U.S. military presence on the island. They held signs that said no to war and no to military bases in Puerto Rico. Yep. Organizers also warned against the use of Puerto Rico as a staging ground for potential U.S. military actions in the region. We denounced the existence of the military bases in Puerto Rico. Gonzalez had dismissed the concerns, saying that Puerto Rico is playing an important role in Trump's ongoing fight against drug trafficking since it represents a U.S. border in the Caribbean. She also noted that the ongoing training of the Marines involved logistics exercises and no ammunition. So Puerto Rican governor is basically doing PR for Donald Trump here in his administration.
Puerto Rico's a great country. It's a great country. I love the people there. They're so tremendous.
Yeah.
You will own nothing, be happy, and eat sea bugs.
There you go.
Marines in Puerto Rico. Sulu Lopez, a spokesman for Puerto Rico's National Guard, told the AP that a group of Marines are currently training on the island are not tied to the U.S. Maritime Force recently deployed to the Caribbean waters. One thing nothing to do with the other, he said, adding that the training in Puerto Rico was pre-planned. Lopez said he did not know exactly the training exercise in Puerto Rico was first planned, but noted that such exercises are usually planned about a year in advance. He said that training began on August 31st, but he does not know when it will end or how many Marines are involved. He said they are practicing amphibious maneuvers, a variety of vehicles. So they were basically amphibious means ocean vehicles and stuff like that. So let's see. Meanwhile, Gonzalez said last week she estimates more than 1,000 Marines were on the island. The U.S. Marine Corps issued a statement on August 31st, noting that the Marines and sailors from the 22nd Marine Expeditionary Unit would be conducting amphibious training and flight operations in southern Puerto Rico. The challenging terrain and tropical climate in Puerto Rico provides an ideal environment for the 22nd MEU to conduct realistic amphibious training and hone specialized skills such as patrolling, reconnaissance, and survival techniques, ensuring a high level of readiness while forward deployed, the Marine Corps said in a statement. It wasn't immediately clear how long Hexeth and Kane planned to stay in Puerto Rico, or if they planned to visit other sites while on the island. Lopez, the National Guard spokesman, declined to comment on specifics of the visit. So, yeah, they're using Puerto Rico as a staging ground for invasion, which is what's going to end up happening. I mean, I don't see how... There's really no reason for Puerto Rico to be on the island there unless they're... or the U.S. to be in the island unless they're planning some sort of military invasion of the island. So, yep. Another example of Puerto Rico being fucked here, and there's almost very little that can be done about it because if the administration wants Puerto Rico there, or the military in Puerto Rico, it'll be there. Let's see. Where are we going to go with this? Here we go. Before we get to Israel, I figured we would... yeah. Oops. There you go. Secret files suggest Saudi's 9/11 support began years earlier. newly declassified FBI and CIA records as cast fresh doubt on the official account of September 11th attacks. What federal investigators are calling an advanced team of Saudi government employees who began aiding hijackers years before the tragedy. It's what is this?
The FBI.
Oh, I think I've seen this documentary. I'm not gonna play all this 11 minutes, but yeah, I think I've seen this. Um, the FBI and CIA documents, which were obtained by independent journalist Catherine Herridge, I don't know, revealed that two Saudi government employees may have served as an advance team for the September 11th hijackers, fundamentally challenging the official timeline by pushing potential Saudi involvement back to December 1998, nearly 3 years before the attacks that killed 3,000 Americans. The explosive revelations emerged from Operation Encore, the FBI secret's investigation to the Saudi government connection to 9/11. Intelligence reports identify Adel al-Shadahan and Mutaib al-Sudari as Saudi Ministry of Islamic Affairs officials who then arrived in Southern California in December 1998, 13 months before the first hijackers landed in Los Angeles. William Evanina, former FBI veteran director of National Counterintelligence Security Center who investigated 9/11, that the documents and videos make it pretty clear that they were here for that particular reason. The critical question remains at whose behest they operated, whether from the Saudi government or they were working for Al Qaeda directly and just happened to be Saudi employees. The most compelling evidence includes video from June 1999 showing the Saudi operatives conducting surveillance of Washington, D.C. landmarks, later identified as potential Al Qaeda targets. The footage captures the White House, the U.S. Capitol building, with what investigators describe as specific intent, focusing not only on the visual, visualization of multiple sides of the building, but also security detail. Ibiana noted this was clearly not a tourist video. I think I've seen this video where this one Saudi guy just kept filming every corner of the Capitol building in particular. So I've seen that video before. British authorities discovered these videos during a raid on Omar al Buyami's Birmingham apartment just 10 days after 9/11. Al Buyami, described by Iviana as the fixer, the facilitator, the leader of the surveillance cell, wrote letters to Saudi government officials referencing complete cooperation and advanced coordination in place. The declassified records reveal a sophisticated support network involving multiple Saudi officials. Fahed al Thuarmi connected to the King Fayed Mosque in Los Angeles and identified as a reputed Islamic fundamentalist worked alongside American cleric Anwar al-Awlaki, who later became a major al-Qaeda leader before being killed in a CIA drone strike. The FBI assessed there were a 50-50 chance that al-Awlaki had advanced knowledge of 9/11. Particularly significant as the February 2000 Welcome Party video, which accountability group 9/11 Justice highlighted in April 27, 2025 press release for two hijackers in San Diego. The footage shows Al Buyami instructing the videographer not to film one side of the room, but when the camera accidentally captured that area, it reveals Mohammed Al-Khatani, identified in court records as a Saudi government religious official. Viviana called this another direct tie to an actual employee of the Saudi government in the welcoming party for two soon-to-be hijackers. The declassified documents indicate that Al-Sadan and Al-Sudwari lived in the same San Diego address where the hijackers would later stay. The investigator developed evidence showing the hijackers traveled from Arizona to Virginia in April 2001, passing through Oklahoma and Missouri where the same Saudi operatives had been assigned. Iviana believes that these locations served as check-in spots where they had to check in with trusted people who helped facilitate their arrival. A 130-page FBI report concluded the Saudi government officials knowingly provided a support network, stating that their involvement would logically be supposed to have knowledge or concurrence of KSA government. The report describes a militant network that was created, funded, directed, and supported by the KSA and its affiliated organization, diplomatic personnel within the U.S. These revelations carry significant implications for ongoing litigation by 9/11 families against Saudi Arabia. These documents emerged following President Biden's executive order directing declassification after families threatened to boycott memorial events without transparency. So let's see a little bit more here. Let me say, emphasized that hijackers did not speak English and had never been to the United States before, making such a support network critically needed for such a sophisticated plot. He called on the current moment a once in a lifetime opportunity for the FBI, CIA, and administration to work with 9/11 families and deal directly with the Saudi government for access to these individuals. That's not going to happen. Do you think Donald Trump is going to give up his buddies in Saudi Arabia? Never. Uh, these documents were obtained in fall 2001 but never provided to the 9/11 Commission, raising questions about whether the evidence remains classified. Saudi Arabia continues to deny any involvement in the attacks despite mounting circumstantial evidence of official complicity in the deadliest terrorist attack on American soil.
This. Oh, that wasn't a soundboard.
No, that was
I thought it was a
motorcycle.
flush or something saying, that's like full of
Uh-huh.
shit.
Yeah. No, that was a motorcycle out here.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Saudis and they swear up and down they have nothing to do with it's 9/11. So it's just a load of crap. All I have to say, what do you think? Really, the Saudis keep swearing they have nothing to do with 9/11.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I say this like,
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop your fucking lying.
that's what I got to say about that.
That guy say, why? Oh, no, he said, why are you running? I was thinking he's saying, why are you lying? But he actually said, why are you running? But yes.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I say. It's like, let's see here. So yeah, Saudis, they keep lying because we all know they, at the very least, they knew about it and they actively assisted. At this point, it's pretty much been confirmed. Of course, they're going to deny it because they're being sued for billions of dollars by the families of 9/11 victims. So of course,
billions and billions and billions.
Yep.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that?
Suck a dick.
Let's see here. Oh, I forgot to. Let's talk about this.
How huge Tarek Skubal didn't leave after the fourth inning injury. Not good.
That's not good for the Tigers, but yeah. He's gonna be a free agent after the year, I think. So
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
yeah. So right now I'm like, oh no. Hopefully he's not hurt that badly. So
Yeah.
if the Yankees have a good shot of landing him. House passes defense spending bill that includes repeal of Iraq War authorizations. The legislation provides $900 billion more of funding for the Department of War. And it says Department of War. So the House of Representatives passed its version of the annual Pentagon spending bill. The legislation includes the repeal of the authorization for use of military force for the Gulf and Iraq wars. The 2026 National Defense Authorization Act passed the House Wednesday 231 to 196. The vote mainly fell along party lines, with 17 Democrats voting in favor of it and 4 Republicans voting against it. 17 Democrats like, yeah, let's keep funding the Pentagon the way we were funding.
Remember, the Republicans are the worst. They're the absolute worst.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we have to remember that. You know what I mean? The National Defense Authorization Act includes a lot of fucked up, spying on us. But yeah, let's just keep passing it. The NDAA is the annual Department of War funding bill. The House and
I mean,
Senate
can they
typically,
just stop their fake hatred with Trump already? Everyone knows it's bullshit. They need to just stop with that.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
uh, the NDAA is the annual Department of War funding bill. The House and Senate typically pass separate versions of legislation, and then the leadership in the upper and lower chambers meet in the conference committee to roll out a compromise bill. Regarding the AUMFs, repealing the AUMF may have support in the Senate. In 2024, the Senate passed legislation by a wide margin that repealed 2002 and 1991 authorization use of military force bills. The House version of the NDAA includes a provision that would repeal the 1991 and 2002 authorization of use of military force. The laws are responsible for allowing the president to start the Gulf and Iraq wars. While the AUMF are rarely invoked today to justify military action, during his first term, President Donald Trump asserted the 2002 AUMF gave him the authority to assassinate Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in Iraq in 2020. And Witchy's talked about that plenty. Sorry, plenty of times. The 2001 AUMF, passed in the days after the 9/11 terror attack, is the authorization that presidents have relied on to wage war across Africa and Asia. By the way, this is the one that's supposed to attack Iraq and Afghanistan. Why are they using it to attack Africa and Asia? Who knows? But they can get away with it. So the provision repealing the AUMF was inserted into the text of a bill during the amendment process in the House Rules Committee. The repeal was introduced by Democrat Jim McGovern and only passed with the support of 3 members of the Republican House Freedom Caucus. The full House also voted on the AUMF Amendment 261 to 167. 49 Republicans joined most Democrats voting in support of the change. The top Democrats at his party largely voted against the NDAA because they did not get any of the amendments they offered into the bill. We didn't get any amendments or debates we wanted, not a single solitary one. So that's why you voted against it. Let's say the Republicans put in 1 or 2 provisions. You would have voted for it? Yes, they would have. That's the thing. That's how they wanted more say. They wanted more say, and the Republicans didn't give it to them. So they're mad. Like, oh, so we voted against it because they didn't listen to us. Not because it's a horrible bill, because they didn't listen to us. The legislation also includes $893 billion in funding for the Department of War, the U.S. nuclear weapons program, and foreign aid. And Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene previously tried to amend the NDAA to remove the $500 million for military aid for Israel. That amendment was rejected by the House 6-422. Get a load of Marjorie Taylor Greene doing something doing something good, but of course the rest of the House, everybody in the House voted against it.
Yeah.
I wonder who was the 6 who voted for it. So I see here. Oops. Oh no, we're good. I see here it says 6 yeas, 422 no's, 0 present, 9 not voting. So only 2 Republicans voted in favor of it, and 4 Democrats voted in favor of it. I wonder who they were, though. Hold on. Let's see. Wait. Here. Okay, here we go. So who voted in favor of it? Al Green from Texas.
That guy,
Green.
he's a fake, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know who this guy is. Green. Marjorie Taylor Greene, obviously. Duh. Hold on. Let me. Oops. Wait. This is now. Here we go. Al Green from Texas, Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia, Lee from Pennsylvania is a Democrat, Massey, of course, he voted for it. He did the right. Omar and Tlaib. Which name is not there? AOC is not there, by the way. That's the one name I was looking for.
Become the divider with the squad. It's really funny.
Yep. So AOC voted for this. voted against, the 500 million or stopping funding for the 500 million to Israel. That talk Nancy Pelosi gave to her and her crying that changed her career because now she's been a good little girl ever since on Israel. So let's see. Al Green from Georgia, or is this? No, this is
Marjorie
not.
Taylor Greene.
Yeah, yeah. Al Green from Texas, Mark Green from Georgia. Who's Lee? I'm trying to figure out. Summer Lee, who's a woman here. He voted in favor of it. So yeah, only 6 out of 420, 400 and whatever the number was. I lost track right now.
I remember, Al Green, he's such a faker. It's like, how dare you do that, he called
Uh-huh.
out Trump for, the Gaza thing, but he never said a word when Biden was doing it, and,
No.
and of course, Kyle Gawinski, he falls for it every single time.
He
Speaking of
falls
Kyle
for it.
Gawinski, I send the group, multiple groups, a video of him reacting to Charlie Kirk shot. I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, but he looked like Kyle gained weight. At least to me, he did.
Oh yeah, I saw you put that there. I didn't watch it, but I did see you put it there, and it's like he did look like he gained weight. I
Yeah.
really don't watch him much anymore, but
Now
yeah,
he
it
has
seems like.
earrings on I think his left ear now. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, his women's earrings now. Like, come on. I mean, he's like, the dude is like, he's younger than me, and he was like, he's going through the midlife crisis because he has the bleach blonde hair, women's earrings. He wears, and he just, I don't know, whatever.
It's like what CM Punk said. You don't wear the pants in the family, but you do wear her panties, don't you?
He is referring to Triple H and Stephanie there. So that's when he was feuding with Triple H about 15 years ago at this point. So before we get to Israel, I figured that we would go to. Hey, you still here? Thank you. I love all my audience. Everyone's here on this Friday night. Greatly appreciate it. The U.S. bombed Somalia for the 75th time this year.
Jesus.
So why does Somalia need to be bombed 75 times? I don't know. I guess we'll find out here. U.S. Africa Command said in a press release that it's launched airstrikes against Al Shabaab, which is that terrorist group or alleged terrorist group that is in Somalia. As soon as the U.S. government wants to bomb you, just call you a terrorist, and that's it. U.S. Africa Command said in a press release on Thursday that its forces launched airstrikes against Al Shabaab in the Shalabel region of southern Somalia on September 9th, marking at least the 75th time the U.S. government has bombed the country this year. The Trump administration has shattered all previous records for annual airstrikes in the country. AFRICOM offered no details on the strikes other than they said they were launched in support of U.S.-backed Mogadishu-based federal government. Mogadishu is the capital of Somalia, by the way, for you don't know. For you guys that don't know. Specific details about units and assets will now be released to ensure continued operation security, the command said. AFRICOM stopped sharing details about casualties and assessments of civilian harm earlier this year, telling antiwar.com that at the time that it was withholding such information as the new Trump administration settles in. AFRICOM told New America, an organization that tracks U.S. air war in Somalia, that although it stated that it launched airstrikes, only one strike was actually launched during the two engagements. AFRICOM told antiwar.com September 8th that it launched 74 airstrikes in Somalia so far in 2025. The September 9th strike brings it to 75. The previous record for total airstrikes in the U.S. airstrikes in Somalia was 63, which President Trump set in 2019. So it seems like Donald Trump has kind of an obsession with Somalia too, because the previous record he set in 2019. So like, Goro Online reported Wednesday that Somali forces had killed a member of Al Shabaab who was allegedly behind an assassination attempt against President Hassan Sheikh Mohammed. The report said that the operation was conducted in Lower Shabelle region and supported by international partners, suggesting that it could have been the strike announced by AFRICOM, though it remains unconfirmed. U.S. forces at a base in Kismayo, in southern Somalia recently came under an al-Shabaab attack. AFRICOM said U.S. forces came under an indirect fire and there were no casualties, rejecting claims from al-Shabaab that had killed Americans. While the U.S. and al-Shabaab had been at war for nearly 2 decades, al-Shabaab cited U.S. support for Israel's genocidal war in Gaza. Besides bombing al-Shabaab in southern Somalia, the U.S. has also been backing local forces in Somalia's northeast Puntland region against a small ISIS affiliate in battles in remote mountainous regions. Good God. I didn't even know any of that. What are we doing in Somalia? Who knows? Allegedly, Al Shabaab, they're terrorists, and now we have ISIS there as well. Apparently, like it's all tiring. It's like all of it's tiring. Let's see here. Let's get to Israel and their attack on Qatar. Um, Qatar says Israel strikes killed any hope for release of Israeli captives in Gaza. Qatar's prime minister said he met with the family members of one of the Israelis held in Gaza in the morning of the attack. Qatar Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani said that Israel's airstrikes on Doha that targeted Hamas officials killed any hopes of release of Israeli captives in Gaza. Throughout Israel's genocidal war in Gaza, Al Thani has served as a mediator between Israel and Hamas and said that he just met one of the family members of an Israeli who is still being held in Gaza. I was meeting one of the hostage families in the morning of the attack, he told NBC News. They were counting on this mediation. They have no other hope for that. I think what Netanyahu done yesterday has killed any hope for these hostages. Here's the thing. Netanyahu doesn't give a shit about those hostages. Zero. None. In fact, he would prefer them to be held. That way is an excuse to keep attacking Gaza. I don't know why people are naively think that Netanyahu wants, these hostages to be released. Because if the hostages are released, then he has no reason to keep attacking Gaza. So they're not going to be released. In fact, I think he would prefer them dead. That way he has justification to keep bombing there forever. Let's see. On Thursday, Al-Thani addressed an emergency meeting in the U.S. Security Council and made similar comments.
US?
Extremists. What?
Did you say
US? I might have said U.S. I meant UN. The U.S. Security Council made similar comments. Extremists that rule Israel today do not care about the hostages. Otherwise, how do we justify
Those are the two words
timing?
that I hate today: terrorists and extremists. That's the two words I hate.
Yeah, well, they're used interchangeably by the U.S. and by the West these days. So, extremist, terrorist is like means the same thing to the U.S. government or most of the West, anyways. Israeli airstrikes targeted Doha after the U.S. had passed a ceasefire proposal to Hamas. According to Hamas officials, they were gathered to discuss the proposal when the Israeli missiles hit. Despite the attack, Al-Thani vowed that Qatar would continue our humanitarian diplomatic role without any hesitation in order to stop the bloodshed. So even then, Qatar is like, they have no intention on attacking Israel, even though they probably should because they attacked their territory. But 15-member Security Council released a statement condemning the Israeli attack, which means it has the backing of the U.S. The members of the Security Council expressed their condemnation of the recent strikes in Doha, the territory of a key mediator on September 9th. They expressed deep regret at the loss of civilian life, the council said.
Yeah.
However, the U.S. envoy at the meeting defended Israel from charges that it didn't want a ceasefire. It is inappropriate for any member to use this to question Israel's commitments for bringing the hostages home, said acting U.S. Ambassador Dorothy Shea. So, of course, the U.S. ambassador has to suck up to Israel. Oh, no, of course, they want to bring the hostages home. No, they don't. They absolutely do not. President Trump has claimed he's very unhappy about the Israeli attack on Qatar.
Sure he is. Sure he's very happy.
He did say, he's very, I saw him say this. I'm very unhappy about it, but Not much. He basically had that look on his face. Not much I can do about it. But Israeli media reports that the U.S. gave the green light for the attack. There's also no signs that the strikes will impact the U.S. military support for Israel. So now the Israeli media claims, well, the U.S. gave Netanyahu permission to attack. So I don't know why Trump is saying he's very unhappy. He's talking out of both sides of his mouth. Publicly, he's very unhappy. Privately, oh yeah, go ahead, attack Hamas. Who gives a shit?
So he has a public position and a private position.
In a private position, yep. So as usual with Donald Trump, it's like,
why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop your fucking lying.
Like usual with Trump, right? It's always lying. Let's see here. He's a public position and a private position. Ever since the Clinton campaign, and Trump made fun of Clinton for that too. And ironically, as president, he's doing pretty much the same thing. Let's see. Look at this. More Israeli war crimes and horrific events here. Israeli attacks and starvation killed 79.
When they attacked Gaza today. Oh wait, no, this was yesterday. Never mind.
Yeah, this was yesterday. Yeah, but Israeli attacks and starvation killed 79 more Palestinians over 24 hours.
How pathetic it is that they do it on 9/11.
Yeah. The Gaza's health ministry said Thursday that Israeli forces killed 72 Palestinians and wounded 356 over the previous 24-hour period as U.S.-backed Israeli attacks continue across the Strip. On top of the violent deaths, at least 7 people, including 1 child, died of malnutrition amid the ongoing famine due to the Israeli siege. This brings the total number of deaths to malnutrition to 411, including 142 children. The health ministry wrote in Telegram. Go ahead.
About that? I can't think of his name right now. You know, the fat congressman.
Randy Fine, yeah. Of course he is. And he's eating all the food, too, while doing so. The Israeli military continues offensive at conquering Gaza City on Thursday, destroying more residential buildings and killing dozens of people as it's ordering all civilians in the city to flee to Al-Mosari tent camp in southern Gaza. Medical sources told Al Jazeera at least 31 Palestinians were killed in Gaza City throughout the day on Thursday. While telling civilians to flee south, the Israeli military continues to bomb the south. So where the fuck are they supposed to go? You telling them to flee south, okay, fine. Oh, we're gonna bomb the south too. So it's like when you might as well just tell them to stay there and bomb all of them. It's ridiculous. According to the Palestinian news agency, Israeli airstrikes killed at least 4 people in the southern city of Khan Yunis. Israeli forces also continue to kill desperate Palestinians seeking aid. Sources told Al Jazeera at least 15 aid seekers were killed on Thursday, while the health ministry said that in its daily update, which it releases about midday Gaza time, that it recorded the deaths of 9 aid seekers over a 24-hour period. Since the end of May, when the U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, GHF, again, we've talked about them plenty, began operations in Gaza, the health ministry recorded killing of 2,465 aid seekers and the injuries of 17,948. The death toll includes people killed near GHF sites or while attempting to reach aid trucks. The health ministries...
Sorry, I just want to interrupt you for a second. Looks like on SmackDown, Brock Lesnar had his pants ripped.
What?
It was unscripted.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting. The health ministry said, blah, blah. Okay, and that the violent death toll since October 7, 2023 has reached 64,718 martyrs, and the number of wounded has climbed to 163,859. Studies have found that the ministry's numbers are likely a significant undercount. So, that's definitely an undercount, I would suspect, but yep, more death, more destruction in Israel.
I had to share that, so...
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, there was also a is this it? Yeah, there was also a shooting at a U.S. Naval Academy right around the time Charlie Kirk was killed too. So,
Well, I know there was a school shooting as well.
and there's also a school shooting too. Yeah, I forgot about that. All pretty much in the same day. A midshipman was shot and a law enforcement officer was injured Thursday during lockdown of U.S. Naval Academy as authorities investigated the threats made against the institution. The midshipman suffered a gunshot wound to his shoulder and was medically evacuated from the academy to be treated at a local hospital. The U.S. Naval Academy said on a statement on Friday. The midshipman was released from the hospital Friday. A member of the Naval Security Force also suffered minor injuries and was treated at a local hospital before being released. The Naval Academy and Naval Support Activities in Annapolis were put on lockdown at 5:07 p.m. Thursday, as authorities responded to threats against the academy and reports of suspicious activity. Faculty, students, and staff were urged to shelter in place for several hours. Ultimately, Navy and local authorities determined there was no active shooter threats. And how does somebody get shot? Like I just read that somebody got treated for a gunshot wound. Okay, I'm confused now. We want to clarify there was no active shooter to Naval Academy. This after 9 p.m. Thursday, the Academy confirmed that an unidentified individual had been injured as the Naval Security Forces were clearing a building. Several sources familiar with the events on Thursday told USNI News that the injured person was a Naval Academy midshipman who was hurt while law enforcement cleared Bancroft Hall. Wait. So the cops shot this guy by accident. That's what we're getting at. But that's what I'm reading here, because there was no active shooter, but they thought there was. So police clearing the building accidentally shot this guy, basically. But they didn't say they're indirectly saying it. It's like because several sources familiar with the events Thursday that the injured person was a Naval Academy midshipman who was hurt while law enforcement cleared Bancroft Hall. So that tells me that the cop shot this guy by accident. Jesus. The midshipman was wheeled on a stretcher to a Maryland State Trooper helicopter before 7 p.m. Thursday in an area near Beach Hall based on photos reviewed by USNI News. A full investigation of the incident is underway with Naval Criminal Investigative Services and law enforcement. We're grateful for continued support and collaboration of our local law enforcement partners, read the Academy's latest statement. The military installation has resumed normal operations, but the Academy grounds were closed to the general public on Friday. So yeah, this is a statement, blah blah blah. Basically, the police clearing a building accidentally shot somebody. I didn't even know about that. I knew there was they were locked down, but I didn't know about the fact that the cops shot a guy. Basically, while trying to clear the building from allegedly some kind of threat. Oh God. No one gave a shit about the school shooting and just criticized people for not sucking the D of Kirk. Yeah,
She's put kicked or whatever she put.
I know what she meant, but yep. Basically, yeah, the school shooting was pretty much ignored because it happened the same exact time as what happened to Charlie Kirk. So let's see. Ah man, what a week. Let's see, got everything else. No, there's still Israel again. Israeli strikes of media offices killed at least 25 journalists in Yemen. So here we go again with Israel killing more journalists. As we covered last week or the week before, Israel purposely bombed a building in Gaza where they knew journalists were at and killed them anyway. So Israel is purposely targeting journalists. They're purposely targeting journalists. So let's read this again. An Israeli attack on Yemen hit the offices of two newspapers in Sana'a, killing dozens of journalists and civilians. The Yemeni Journalists Union condemned the attack, labeling it a heinous war crime. It's a war crime, and no, Israel doesn't care.
Hey, Earl, you're late. We're almost done here, so.
Hey, Earl. Yeah, we're a little late, but Hey, appreciate you coming on anyways. Make sure you like, and you can go back to from the beginning to watch. But yeah, we're all pretty much wrapping up here. Blah, blah. According to the Yenemi Health Ministry, the Israeli strikes hit the offices of 26 September newspaper. Wait, hit the offices of the 26 September newspaper and the Al Yemenen newspaper, killing at least 25 journalists. 26 September is the military's media outlet. Oh, okay. I thought I was reading that wrong.
Yeah.
Because I said 26 September newspaper. I was like, what? But it says the 26th September is the military's media outlet. Okay. And Al Yemen is one of the most read newspapers in the country. Let's see. The Yemenini Journalists Union said it strongly condemns the heinous war crimes committed by the brutal Israeli aggression on Wednesday, 10 September 2025, through its direct targeting of the offices of the 26 September newspaper and Al Yemen newspaper in the capital. The authorities report that at least 46 people were killed in the strikes across Sana'a on Thursday. A military facility and fuel station were targeted along with the media offices. The death toll was expected to rise as rescue and recovery efforts were ongoing. More than 165 people were injured. The majority of
So
those kills.
I just want to
Go ahead,
say,
please.
Brock Lesnar F5 are truth, and that's what made it rip his pants.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
He kind of he kind of embraced it too, as if it was funny.
I'll have to watch it and see how that happened. I mean, that's weird. But let's see. Okay, majority of those killed, 38, died in the strikes, which targeted residential areas. The latest Israeli strikes in Yemen are part of ongoing conflict between Tel Aviv and Ansar Allah. Ansar Allah, or the Houthis, control most of Yemen, including the capital city. After Israel began its onslaught and siege of Gaza, Ansar Allah placed a blockade of Israeli-linked shipping in the Red Sea. In response to the blockade, Israel and U.S. has repeatedly bombed Yemen, killing a large number of civilians. The strikes have failed to break the blockade, and Ansar Allah has responded by direct attacks on Israel with missiles and drones. The blockade is called this.
Tulsi Gabbard used to be against the bombing of Yemen and all that stuff, and when she was running for president, now of course she's part of the administration. So.
She's in the administration, so it's like you have to toe the line. You want that powerful job, So the blockade has caused significant financial losses to Israel's Red Sea ports. In July, the head of the port of Eilat warned that the facility may have to shut down without additional financial assistance from Tel Aviv. Yet, Yemeni leaders opposed to Ansar Allah warned U.S. senators that the strikes in Yemen have only empowered the Houthis. The warning was sent following an Israeli attack that killed political leaders, including the prime minister. So Israel keeps attacking countries for no reason, and they're pissing everybody. They're pissing off all their neighbors, basically. If you're a neighbor, you're surrounding.
So crazy, like I said, how Israel has become the new Nazi Germany. It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Look, they're pissing off all their neighbors. They keep bombing them. They absolutely keep bombing them, and they will continue to do it. It seems like, because the U.S. lets them get away with it. Because if the United States really wants to stop the war in Gaza, as they claim, just stop their funding. Stop their funding, and then Netanyahu will fold in seconds. He'll fold immediately. And if he doesn't fold, he'll be removed from office, and they'll put in a prime minister that will fold.
Well, they would probably bring in that guy, Naftali Bennett, or whatever his name is. Remember, they replaced Netanyahu with that guy a few years ago.
Yeah, very briefly.
Yeah, and then somehow Netanyahu came back.
Didn't he win an election or something? Because get back into power. That's after he was charged with corruption, but he still won anyways, and now he's back in power. And he's desperately trying to stay in power because apparently he's supposed to be doing prison time as soon as he leaves office. So he won't leave office, obviously. Let's see. So, yeah. What is this? Oh, let me see this. Okay. Two U.S. Democratic senators slammed Gaza ethnic cleansing and report on Israel's visits. Let's see. Senators Merkley and Van Holland. They wrote, the weight of the evidence indicate that Netanyahu fears the end of the war will bring more public scrutiny and accountabilities for his actions leading up to October 7th. Senators Jeff Merkley of Oregon and Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland published a report on Wednesday categorizing Israel's policy in Gaza as ethnic cleansing. Yeah, dudes, what are you going to do about it? You keep voting for funding. Seriously, these two senators, alongside nearly every single Democrat, vote for funding for Israel every time. But they're giving us a virtue signaling report, like, oh yeah, what they're doing is definitely ethnic cleansing. Okay, so what you gonna do about it? I mean, you guys are in power.
Same
The
thing as
two,
Bernie says, what Israel's doing to the Palestinians is unacceptable, but he will only call out Netanyahu, not Israel. So
yeah. So the two also condemned Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government for blocking aid headed for the Strip. The senators, both longtime advocates for Palestinian rights, bullshit, and a negotiated peace,
they write a
bullshit as well.
letter.
Yeah, visited Israel and the West Bank in late August. In Gaza, Netanyahu's government is implementing its goal through the near total destruction of civilian infrastructure and uses food as weapons of war. The
I
report
want
read.
to ask Steph something.
Mhm.
Did your son eat a corn dog like Pete Buttigieg would? I like that fair from a few years ago.
That's a question for her there. Um, in the two senators condemn. Okay, a lot of senators. No. In Gaza, Netanyahu's government is implementing its goal. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, these policies are part of a calculated effort to drive Palestinians out of Gaza and making it impossible for them to live there or kill them. The report criticized past statements by Israeli officials about Palestinians leaving Gaza voluntarily. Any talk of voluntary departure is a cruel hoax, the report read. Departure is not voluntary when conditions are needed to support life are extinguished. The senators said in their report that they had met with families of Israeli hostages held in Gaza.
uh,
Some some have had their loved ones return home as part of an earlier agreement between Israel and Hamas. Others have lost their loved ones, they said. According to the senators, the weight of the evidence indicated Netanyahu fears the end of the war will bring more public scrutiny and accountability for his actions leading to October 7th. They also said the far right National Security Minister Itamar Ben Gvir and Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich had pledged to bring down his government if the Prime Minister were to sign an agreement ending the war. So in other words, you have people further right than Netanyahu and his own government. It's like, oh yeah, if you agree to peace, I mean, we're taking you down.
you
So
might want to bring up the video of Cope Pink confronting the Trump administration. I think it was yesterday. I think you may have heard
oh
about
when it wasn't it in front of Daryl Isa's office? Oh no, you're talking about
just
wait
yesterday when they confronted Trump and JD
at the
Vance.
restaurant. You talking about the restaurant? That
Wherever I
video?
don't know where it was, but it happened yesterday.
Yeah, right. Let me just finish reading this. Some have described to dismiss Smotrich and Ben Gvir as fringe actors and solitary voices. That was once the case in Israeli politics, but is now certainly true today. They have become key elements of Netanyahu's coalition, and their views regarding both Gaza and the West Bank has been ascended in this Israeli government. So yeah, we have virtue signaling coming from the two senators there. They're not going to do anything about it, by the way. I just want to make that crystal clear. I don't do anything. Let me see if I can find that.
It's like that meme I've shown before when Kevin Nash is like, "What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna do nothing. What are you gonna do about it?" Remember that clip I showed?
Yeah, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to not do a damn thing about it. Okay. Not sure if it's this one. Hold on. I don't think it's this one. Yeah, there's a other video of the restaurant. This is him entering. Hold on. This is that's the video of him entering. Yeah, I think this may be the one, but
Yeah, I think it's the one.
Yeah. He just does. Come on, let's go. Get him out of here.
He's terrorizing ethnic communities all over the world! From Puerto Rico! To the Philippines! To Venezuela! He is terrorizing communities! He is not welcome to D.C. He's not welcome to Palestine! Palestine is not for sale! Free D.C. Free Palestine!
Why are you bullying?
Well, they're obviously, it's a restaurant they made sure it was full of supporters of the administration.
His supporters are going to be saying, "Oh, how great was Trump? Look how he handled it. He handled it like a pro." They're going to say shit like
He's
that.
like, he just points like, I'm surprised Secret Service let them that close to Trump for that long. Because they were pretty close to him. So it wasn't like they were far. I mean, they were right basically on the other side of the table. So yeah, that's Donald Trump being called the Hitler of our time by those protesters.
And he was smiling about it too.
Yeah, I think he was trying to what the fuck are they doing here? Okay, let me pretend to smile here, and is like, oh yeah, he pointed to get rid of them, but I'm not sure if Secret Service didn't know what to do. It's like, and then he finally said, get him out of here. Like, what are you doing? So yeah. Earl says, looks like security lapse to me. They were awfully close. Yeah, they were very close to Trump. I'm surprised anybody got that close to him. Especially, none of this happened. Wait, this happened the day before
Weird
Charles
how
Kirk
he's
was shot.
holding her right there, that security guard.
Yeah, kind of like. It's kind of like, okay. I mean, I don't want to touch her, but I have to get rid of her somehow. So it's like, so yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Donald Trump being called the Hitler of our time. So yeah, so we'll be wrapping up now. It's almost 9:00, and my back is bothering me too, so I'm trying to sit in a way that So Pro Wrestling Talk will not be tomorrow, but it'll be Sunday night at 7, because tomorrow I'm watching the Canelo fight. So not doing a show.
8
8?
Eastern. So.
That's fine. Sounds good.
Hopefully, Bill, if you're watching this, hopefully you can join too. So.
Yeah, well, me or Witchy will reach out to him, sure. But, obviously now we got to discuss the WWE officially going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania 43 in 2027. So
I would be okay if they did it in London or Australia or other countries in Europe, but Saudi Arabia, really?
I know, for TKO is all about the money. The Saudis really paid. They wanted a WrestleMania.
They're really making
anybody
Mr.
else.
McMahon look like a genius nowadays, or at least Mr. McMahon back.
Yeah, they really are. They really are making Vince look like a good guy here. This how TKO is running WWE, they're really making Vince look like a good guy. Compared to Vince, is like, Jesus. I mean, I thought Vince was money hungry. You guys are so much worse. It's like Saudi Arabia, let's go to Saudi. Let's all collect the Saudi money. So we'll be discussing that on Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll also be
that same stadium that they hold the what's that event called in Saudi Arabia?
Crown Jewel.
Yeah, Crown Jewel is in the same.
I assume, yeah, it's in Riyadh, the capital. So I'm assuming they'll be going to that place again in Riyadh. It's gonna be 2 nights or 2 afternoons here in the U.S. because it's on the afternoon here. Yeah. And we'll be talking about that Sunday. And any updates on Raw and SmackDown leading into WrestlePalooza, which is next Saturday, not
Did you
tomorrow.
respond
So
to Steph? Vince McMahon would be like, "It's me. It was me all along." You remember that segment?
yeah, YouTube not liking me tonight. I had some good ones and wasn't offensive, unless they were thinking that way. Trust me, Vince will be back. I mean, we can discuss that more Sunday, but trust me, I believe so too. At some point, we'll see Vince McMahon's face back on television. So I don't think he'll be running the company again, but I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up back in WWE television. And yeah, so
Yeah,
that
like we want Shane. We want Shane or something like that.
yeah. So we're gonna wrap up there because it's 9:02 and I gotta go. And make sure you check out Pro Wrestling Talk Sunday at 7. Most likely we'll have to do next Sunday at 7 as well, the Sunday after, because WrestlePalooza is that Saturday. So, but that'll be we'll see about that one. But for now, for sure we're gonna go on Sunday at 7. This Sunday at 7. And thank you for watching Angel in the Afternoon. Hopefully, Witchy will be back with us next week because we did miss her on the show today. And make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you check out all the other INN content on the channels because they've been great. And we're going to see you guys Sunday for Pro Wrestling Talk. Have a nice weekend and